All right, everybody, I'm gonna be a freak today. It is November 29th, 2020 in Michigan, and I have my shirt off and I have no socks. I do have pants though. And I'm having so much fun with these videos. This is vlog number 15. And I don't know why I wanted to come out here. I think it was just, I made some like coffee alternative, and I looked outside and it's pretty bright because it's been really gloomy the past couple days, and I was like, yeah, I'll go outside. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna even take it up a notch and get grounded, because I haven't spent much time outside this AM yet, so this will be a good opportunity to get outside, stay grounded, stay connected on a goal and a purpose of making this video, and wither the cold, and to maybe hopefully inspire you and be like, wow, that guy's crazy, I'd never do that. But maybe 6 months down the road you're like, maybe I could do that. I know in 6 months it's not going to be cold, but just saying, like, I do crazy shit, and like, not to be to be better or whatever the fuck, but just to see how far I can go. I like to push my own envelope, and maybe that inspires other people to see how far they can go. And you know, like, I think that being just outside of my barefoot and no shirt on isn't really much of anything. And it's really not, but it is, because my body is saying that you need to go get warm, you know, this is ridiculous, you don't need to do this. And you're right, we don't need to do this. I don't need to do this. I don't need to be out here with my shirt off and no shoes and getting cold. But I have found with stress management and going through massage therapy school and just this personal development journey, is that the more that we put ourselves into these uncomfortable positions, the easier it is to just deal with stresses of life. Like, my tolerance for stress has gained an incredible amount over the past 10 years. And I can only imagine of what 15-year-old Troy would be thinking right now. Well, I don't know, that's not true. I think I was that kid in school that was wearing a winter coat but wore shorts in the middle of winter just to be that person. And people thought I was just being that person, but really I have a sweating problem. So when I was in school, I would sweat profusely and it would embarrass the shit out of me, and I didn't like it. So I would always wear shorts and a sweatshirt, because I stayed a little warm, but I still had this breeze that like kind of cooled me down. Like, if I was in pants and it's in the middle of winter and they crank on the heat, oh dude, I'm so insecure. Sweating, and like, I'd lift up my hands and there'd just be this big sweat stain on the desk, and I just would think, like, I was really interested in girls and getting a girlfriend at the time, and I was like, just never wanted anyone to know that I sweat. And so that was, like, I guess the real reason why I would wear shorts to school, so I wouldn't overheat. But but even if though, like, my tolerance for stress, my tolerance it always improves. I'd like to think that it always improves. Like, the more I get old, like the more I age, the more wisdom I possess, and the more personal understanding I get. So, but the more that we put ourselves in these situations, it just helps increase that tolerance, because knowing I don't have to do it makes it that much easier to do it, if that makes sense. That knowing that I don't have to do this, so I'm doing it, it already gives me a sense of encouragement and a sense of, like, wow, you did something today. You did something that was challenging, that stressed you. And it doesn't have to be climbing a mountain. Again, I'm gonna make another point about, it's not what you do, it's what you do every day. It's not about the literal thing that you're doing. It's are you going forward every day? Are you doing something that's maybe pushing your boundaries? And you are we are a multifaceted being, which means that we aren't just one thing. We're like a diamond that is cut at all these angles, or like a raw gem that is found in the earth. Like, it has all these points and crevices and stuff, and we're the same way. And light comes out of us refracted in different ways. So one day it might be just making a video barefoot in the middle of fall, cold as balls, and another day it might be you know, for me it might be getting like 2 massages in a day or something, or like, or booking another client, or like, or reading a new book, or starting a new book, or finishing an old book, or whatever. Like, whatever my interests are in, whatever my spirit wants to be led towards, I try to push that envelope, and I don't stop at just one thing, because we're not, nor will we ever be, just one thing. This is a coffee alternative that I found about a year and a half ago when I was working for a chiropractor. They also sold supplements, and there's this company called Rasa, and it is a coffee alternative. It's adaptogenic herbs and mushrooms that help sustain your energy levels and not crashing them like coffee. Like, they have this chart on their bag that, like, what coffee does, which takes you up and then drops you down, whereas Rasa kind of gradually takes you up, coasts you for a little bit longer, and then casually sets you down. I've just been wanting to get away from coffee for a long time. Well, I go in waves. I won't say I've been wanting to get away from it for a long time, but there are moments where I'm like, yeah, I really want this coffee, and then there's other moments where I just don't like that I can't feel anything because I drink it so much, and I don't want that. I would rather have something that is beneficial, that actually boosts my system, rather than gives me this false idea of a boost. Because I drink a cup every day, sometimes a cup and a half, and then I'm not feeling any sort of effect from it, and I don't want to be addicted, or I don't want to be relying on a feeling from drinking a morning ritual thing. I'd rather just have this be something that's natural, that my body needs. So now I drink Rasa, which I just drank the last of it, but something I also added to this, which is something I've been drinking more, is chaga. I got my buddy Duff Fitness, actually, which, if you're watching this randomly, go follow his channel, because he's a personal trainer who does a lot of interesting, cool stuff. Like, he's not just a personal trainer, like he really incorporates a lot of himself in his work, and he's expressing his multifaceted self. He's not just one thing, but his main focus is personal training and making it fun, and such a cool dude. And he forages, so he likes mushrooms, and he had this chaga that he gave me months ago, and I never used it. And then the other week I was like, I'm gonna get that out. And they're real hard pieces, and I have this old mechanical coffee grinder that I put these pieces in, and I just grind it up into like a dust, and then I just let it sit, like it brew like a tea. And then when I pour it out, I also add like a tablespoon of raw cacao powder, which I'm 90% certain that is a superfood, which I'm a huge fan of superfoods, because superfoods are just what they are, like superfoods. It's maybe not a lot of calories, even though they can be, but they are so micronutrient dense with minerals and nutrients that we can't get from other food. So what my diet has been so different this year, which is just relying more on superfoods. I don't eat as much, but I get a lot of calories in a smaller amount of time, and I'm constantly filling my body up with these nutritionally dense foods, superfoods. So today I got the Rasa and then my chaga mix, my chaga powder, and then my cacao as well. And I noticed when I first started taking the cacao that, dude, it just went, it just exploded my brain. Like it's like there's just so much more oxygen in there, and like I feel like I can think clearly, and I'm wow, awake, but not like wired like coffee. And I'm very sensitive to substances, so I know when something is affecting me very quickly, and that's something I noticed immediately, was that this cacao is increases the oxygen in my brain. That's something I intuitively feel for myself. An update on my body, my feet are kind of cold, but there's like a stinging feeling. But I notice when I move and I go back to the place that I was, there's actually heat in that where my footprint was. And so I'm just trying to not ignore the pain in my feet, but to look at pain in a different way, to realize it's just a sensation, and that is going to be there whether I'm here or not. That's a little bit, that's far, that's hippy dippy wooey, but like that pain is going to exist in another time of my life. I'm going to stub my toe and I'm going to get some similar sensation. Pain is going to always be there. So I'm not going to let that pain stop me from just quitting this video. But I'm just being aware of it and letting that sensation change. I'm saying to myself, it doesn't hurt, but it's something different. And I'm not answering that question. I'm not defining it. I'm just letting that sensation be. And yeah, that's a stinging feeling, but if I can do it as I'm talking. Like if I relax into that stinging feeling, there's a bit of a warmth to it, and I'm drawing that warmth up, and I'm not trying to be stiff in my body either. I'm actually really relaxed, and I think that's helping, because if I'm like this, I'm not going to be able to breathe very deep, because my shoulders are up like this and I'm cold. I'm not going to breathe deep enough, and I'm not going to relax. And that relaxation is what we need to conjure up that warmth in our body. So we need to still make sure we're breathing deeply when we're cold, and we need to make sure that our shoulders are away from our ears. This is why I think massage therapy is so hot. It's so like the thing during Christmas and the winter times, is because we're walking around like this all the time, especially in the northern parts of the country, but we're walking around like this all the time because we're trying to protect and keep our warmth in, and now we're creating all this stress in our neck and our shoulders. So as uncomfortable as it is, relax, and it's gonna pay off a lot more just by relaxing, breathing nice and deep into the stomach, and just surrendering. How much can you let go into this pain that you're experiencing, or this sensation that you're experiencing, because it's all sensation. So that's my feet. My top half, my hands are a little cold. It's my extremities, I think, that are getting really cold right now. But my face, my ears aren't cold, probably because I got the long hair. I mean, my top half is just, it's kind of annoyed, but it's very warm compared to my feet. Like, I can feel the heat just underneath my skin, but when the wind hits my skin, it like lights up like Christmas lights. It's like, whoo. But that whoo is what I'm feeling on the inside. I'm not expressing it because it's a wasting of energy. It's a waste of energy to like complain that it's cold. It's a waste of energy to dampen that feeling. Instead, let's go inside of it and then let's illuminate it. Let's make it the best that it can be. I'm gonna check the time on this because I have it faced the other way, and now I don't know if I'm hitting that 15-minute mark. Nice! 14 minutes, that's what's up. All right, that's it. So, God, that is just my life. Like those small little like guesses and predictions of, I can just intuitively sense time. I don't know, that's something I've always experienced throughout my life. Like I could think, maybe look outside, or just something will trigger this, like, oh, it's this time, and I'm always generally pretty damn close. So you just witnessed it. All right, guys, thank you so much for being with my crazy ass and following along on this journey if you are, and if you're not, it's cool because I'm enjoying this process so much. So take care and stay warm.